Hey family, it's Tasha MAMABEAR Prepping. So welcome to the channel, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about kind of a heavy subject, right? And I want to just take a minute to discuss mental preparedness, right? How do you mentally prepare for what's to come, things that we may go through, whether that's preparing mentally for something as small as an incoming storm that you know might take you guys grid down for several weeks, several months, to, total collapse and chaos and what that looks like and how that is going to kind of play into your new world, okay, your new reality, okay? And so today I want to talk about mental preparedness. I want to talk about a couple points, and then I'm going to tell you things that you can do to prepare today. And then I'm going to give you some personal tips, personal things that I deal with, okay? So one thing I'm going to say is, I think that life in general is very unpredictable, but when you throw kind of like an end of the world, total collapse, just craziness and chaos, that it's going to be the ones that are going to be on top are the ones that can work through and adapt to the challenges that are going to come your way. Okay, so it's going to be a matter of how do you deal with crazy challenges that are going to come your way, unpredictable challenges, okay? And I think you're going to be challenged at every turn, and that's where it gets really heavy because, to be honest, a lot of people haven't learned the skills to be able to adapt and be flexible and assess a situation and determine the risk and then make a decision. And there's a lot of people that don't have those everyday skills, and those are the skills that are going to be important. I think some challenges that you can expect are people, right? Unexpected challenges that you're going to come across with people, the way people talk to you, the way people treat you. And that's in today, right now, and then that's later. I think family is a challenge both now and later. Family in the sense of, yes, people may be not listening to you right now is the challenge, but later maybe the challenge is you can't get a hold of them or they're looking for you, and the challenge of are you taking them in or not taking them in, that type of scenario. I think that another challenge when there is collapse is going to be how do you navigate through the chaos? How do you navigate towards through the dying time where you have a time period, let's say the first 90 days where it's just so chaotic and people are dying because it's a bad time, right? And there's all types of reasons why people would be dying, okay? I did a video a long time ago. I'll try to see if I can pull it up about why 90% will die, okay? But it gives you an idea of the people that are going to die in this type of situation. I think another challenge that you are going to have to deal with is just navigating towards a collapse and how that changes your life, right? How that changes physically what you're doing every day. That's, having the capability to get to your money and have a bank where you can get the money you earned and spend that and have a place to go spend that, okay? And get the things that you need to get. The ability to go online and at your fingertip, just grab whatever type of information you need, the ability of social media and communication with friends and family. And, that whole social media thing is a huge problem because there's a large part of the world, okay, that is so in tune with social media and the importance of that, and like it's like air to them. They have to do it. They cannot do life without the social media. And so the minute that it's not there, the minute there's no internet, the minute they can't get a hold of somebody, the minute that they cannot just sit there and play a game all day long or look at videos all day long to take up the time, that a lot of people mentally are not going to be able to handle that, okay? A lot of our younger generations are not going to be able to handle that. A lot of us that are using social media now, we know some harder times. We know some times when we didn't have social media, we didn't have that stuff, okay? And now everybody does, and to not have that. Now, at the end of the day, I think we're going to be just fine, because a lot of you, if you've gone through any kind of strife or any kind of like, hey, we're going through a period where we don't have something, you already know that that brings your family closer together and you're bonded a little bit closer, and that's awesome. Okay. And so a lot of people will revert, you will adapt, and it will be okay. But you have to know about these things ahead of time so that you can prepare and prep your mind now to know that those things are coming, and what can you do now to prepare yourself. So I'm just going to go through 6 discussion points of things that you can do to prepare now, okay? And then I'll get into tips. So number 1 is self-love. Self-love. Do not sleep on self-love. Having the ability to continue to do things for yourself, for nobody else, okay, is important. Your level of care for yourself gives you the ability to care for others, okay? So a perfect example of this is a mama bear that is broken down. All she does all day long is care for kids, care for a hubby, care for all these people, right? It could be caring for people at work, caring for people at the church, caring for kids at home, doing all the stuff, right? And it's not that she's doing that alone. It's the fact that you constantly are thinking about other people and making sure other people are good to go, that you forget how to take care of yourself. And then that's how you become broken. That's how you find parents who are broken down or start to fall into some sort of depression or anxiety, is because it's so heavy and it gets to you. And if you don't have that release of self-care and self-loving yourself and taking a minute to do something for yourself, it's gonna collapse. Okay, to be strong, you have to take care of yourself first, and then therefore you can take care of everybody else. Okay, so something as simple as, sometimes I get comments about my nails, right? How are you a prepper and you're telling people it's so dire to buy food, but yet you're sitting here with your nails on, right? Yes, I absolutely do. But I will tell you that self-love and taking a minute to do some things for yourself matters for your mental game. Okay, it matters, taking care of yourself, and it's in all types of forms. Okay, it's not just beauty like nails and getting your hair done or whatever. It's beauty, it's your hobbies, it's taking a minute to do the things that you love to do. Okay, buying the things that you want to do, projects you want to do, books you want to read, places you want to go to, anything that is for you. Okay, so don't forget how important self-love is. And that's something you can do right now. Figuring out yourself, figuring out the things that make you happy, and making sure that your significant other knows kind of what you need and that certain things you need. Okay. When I'm down or whatever, or it's been a while since I've done something for myself, my hubby actually will remind me and be like, maybe we need a mental health day. And we joke all the time about it's mental health stuff. Okay. Getting our toes and nails done, it's mental health. It feels good. Okay. And that's what I want you to take away from self-love. Okay. And doing things for yourself. All right. Number 2 thing I have is your comfort levels. So comfort is super important. Think about now what you can do now to make your comfort levels easier and better later. Some examples: food. Do not sleep on the importance of later on during a collapse while people are dying and it's chaotic outside and all this stuff, of having comfort foods, those foods that make you feel so good inside, whether you're the one cooking it that makes you feel good, it's eating the food. Okay. But don't sleep on the importance of comfort food at certain time frames. Okay. For me, for example, I try to make sure that I prep for all time periods, right? I don't want certain things to stop in my family, total collapse, whatever. I want us to still be able to have Thanksgiving at some level, right? Christmas dinner at some level, a special dinner, right? Sundays, we do Sunday dinners, maybe something special, okay, or a little bit more elevated on Sundays. I want to be able to continue to do that, even at a lower grid down type situation. I want to be able to have something that I know my family just really, really loves to eat. Those are the things that I will make at certain times to kind of just lift spirits, right? Having some snacks. I prep snacks that I know my family loves, like their favorites, I make sure that I vacuum seal and I keep those things. So certain things that you know your family, that just on a bad day, could you imagine you're taking out, their favorite candy bar or their favorite potato chips? I mean, something as simple as that. You don't have to prep a lot of it. It's a once in a blue moon type of thing that you could pull out, that you're like, hey, I know you're having a bad day, and to lift spirits. Okay. And you can prep that stuff now. Third thing is super important is figuring out your mental health plan. How do you, with known medical concerns, how do you continue to take care of yourself, right? Are you on some sort of medication? Are you not on medication? Do you battle already with mental illness and different things, right? Bipolar, schizophrenia, is it basic, depression, anxiety, okay? I deal with chronic anxiety, you guys, and I've dealt with that for years in the service. And so I've learned to deal with it and what I need to do to get myself back on track. I'm going to go into that a little bit more in depth during the tips, but it's important that you know concerns that are going on with you. And it's just like other medical concerns, but you want to figure out, what do you need to prepare and stockpile now to help you get through that, whatever that is, okay? Because everybody is different. So it's hard to just be like, make sure you have this, this, and this. No, it doesn't work like that. But you do need to figure out your plan of what helps you get through those situations, okay? And then go from there. Number 4 I have is plan for the unpredictable. So this is a very, very important one, okay? This goes into, the dying time, the chaos, how crazy things could get in the future for us, okay? And I'm going to give you some examples. You need to be, just like you did emergency plans and you planned what we would do for this and what we would do for this. We actually talk about some hard stuff, okay? We talk about what happens if you have a death of a family member or a child, okay? How does that play into your plan, your preparedness, your way forward during collapse? How do you deal with the death of a child? How do you deal with the death of another provider? Okay. All of a sudden things are going good. Me and my significant other, we prep hard. We have a great team effort, things that he likes to do, things I like to do. It's perfect. But what happens if one of us passes away? How does that change the game? You have to have those conversations now, because mentally, first of all, it's going to be heartbreaking. It's going to be horrible, right? But mentally, you have to get through that, because whoever makes it is the other parent, okay? Talking through with your kids. And I know this is hard, and I know some people don't want to talk about certain things with their kids, but I highly disagree with that, okay? I definitely think you should be talking to your kids, and your kids should be part of your preparedness so there's no surprises, okay? But having the conversations of what happens if we don't come home one day, we both get in an accident, kiddos here know what to do if we don't come home one day, right? We go out, we run out to the grocery store, whatever, we get in an accident and we don't come home. Those children need to know until help comes, and how to call for help, and who to call, and how to take your vitamins because we're not there, and how to make your food, and basically how to survive until they get connected with somebody again. You have to have these conversations. If it's there and it's total collapse, your kids have to know about the preparedness level so that they can continue on without you. And those are the hard things. But because people are not going to talk about those things, that is what's going to make that mental preparedness weak. And it's going to be crazy, and you're not going to be able to process what's going on because you've never had these conversations. You've never thought about, well, what if this happens? What do we do? Another example is we're just now getting into the retirement field, right? I'm retired. He's right behind me. And we have military, so federal benefits, retirement, VA claims, that type of thing. But what happens the day that that's gone for whatever reason, whether it's because I'm not medicated, whether it's because it just collapses and that is no more. But we talk about that stuff. We prepare. What do we do when There's no social media. I'm not making no more money on YouTube. Can't go to a job, okay, or lose a job. Talking that through, okay? Talking through, we lose all our benefits, okay? You should be talking about that. Talk about what is the plan and what do you do if you have some sort of government assistance and that is gone all of a sudden. You're not getting assistance for food or partial rent payment or whatever. That part collapses or it's just not there anymore. You should be having the conversations now about how to prepare for the day that that's not there. Okay. So for us, money is very important. For us, we lose that. It becomes okay if a house is paid off. How do we continue to pay taxes? Those are the things, right? How do we continue to get any kind of revenue to be able to pay the things we have to pay? Okay. So, and a lot of people, I'm not talking about total collapse and then like we lose that stuff. And then, if it's a total collapse, like end of the world has happened, obviously I get it. Nobody's going to be caring about money and collecting money and collecting debt. But I'm talking about all the things in between that could happen, that could cause that to happen while things are still kind of together. Okay, you've got to have those conversations. And then we another example is the unpredictable, the being overran in your house, right? A mob comes through that is just too big. I don't care how much, firepower you have. It's just too big. It's not smart. Okay. You have to have conversations of at what level would you defend? At what level do you kind of pull back and quietly see what happens? At what level do you go full bore? I mean, you just have to have these conversations so that you're all on the same page and understand what's going to happen. Mentally, first of all, can't nobody mentally understand what it feels like to, and I'm not gonna say nobody because people have gone through things, okay, you guys, but the average person does not know what it feels like to be in your home and you're scared and you're trying to protect what's yours. And there's an angry mob of people outside your home. And there's people out there that are, Molotovs and people out there are angry and they're going home to home. Okay. What happens if you start defending it and now it's a full out firefight? You have to talk those things through. Okay. So that it's already going to be a mental game trying to maneuver what's happening. Okay. Like this is happening. This is real right now. And a lot of people are not going to be able to do that. If you're going to have high suicides, it's going to be bad. Okay. Next thing is that I have on here is discuss those hard decisions. I just kind of said that right now, meaning discuss those, unpredictable, crazy events that could happen and what your plan is to do them, but then discuss and make the plan of what the hard decisions would be. What are we going to do if a family comes to our home, to our front door, asking for help? What are you going to do if an angry mob comes? Okay. What are you going to do if somebody or family members come to your door? Like, what are the things you're going to do? What is your plan? What is our plan the day that the government says, hey, you weren't medicated and we're going to take your VA and your retirement pay because you're not medicated? We have to make those hard decisions. Okay. And we've already made the decisions, but those are hard decisions that you're going to have to make as a family as certain things happen. And if you do it now and you prepare now, it's still going to hurt later, but it's going to be mentally a little bit easier to grasp. Like, okay, we knew this was going to happen. Okay. We're here. We knew it was going to happen. Okay. It's not going to take away from how hard stuff is, but it's going to it's going to prepare you mentally that you knew this was coming and you've prepared for it. The next thing I have is discuss plans for each challenge. So all those challenges I mentioned above, like the challenge of people, right? Mobs, people coming to your door, people asking for help, the challenge of, the dying time, how to deal with the chaos, how to deal with, the change of not having the internet, not having social media, not having certain things at your fingertips, just total collapse. You've got to plan out each of those things happening. How are we going to handle this? How are we going to do this? How are we going to handle the banks? Okay, we're going to have cash. We have plenty of stuff here, plenty of stuff to barter. We're set. Okay. How are we going to deal with the people? Okay, here's our plan for this, this, and this. Okay. Mentally, you need to plan as much as possible. Okay. So here's my everyday tips. Okay, you guys, we're about 19 minutes. People ask me all the time, how do you handle people Some people ask me specifically, like, how do you handle these weird comments, rude comments? How do you handle rude people, aggressive people? And this is kind of the things that I do, okay, or that I try to do, okay. I'm pretty feisty. I'm pretty opinionated. I don't hold back. I'm pretty, I'm not going to say aggressive, but I have an opinion and I do use it. And I do, when people come at me inside, I do get angry and I do get like, who are you, right? But this is really the stuff I do, okay? This is the stuff I was taught and it works, okay? So in regards to all just mental health and stuff and things that I do for myself. So one, I kill people with kindness as much as I can. When people are rude to me or trying to say something to me to get a rise out of me, I try to kill them with kindness. Kindness is free, okay? And that usually gets the job done. Just this morning, we were on base. Me and my son were on base. We were trying to get some IDs. We're trying to do some stuff. And a gentleman was opening the door and he goes, aren't you supposed to be in school, young man? Something along those lines. And just like that, just, a catty little comment like, why aren't you in school? Right? And I was like, he's actually homeschooled, sir. And immediately the guy was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I wish I could have been homeschooled. Just total demeanor changed, right? Went from, why aren't you in school to just, all meek, right? And so killing people with kindness works, okay? It does not hurt you to be kind. Now, on the same flip side, though, of kindness and hard decisions later when things are bad, you need to have the conversations now of how far your kindness is going to go in the future. Okay. You can't just be somebody's kind, like feeding all the cats in the neighborhood and you're letting all these people come in droves to your house because they find out that you're letting, you're opening the door and you're letting people in and you're taking care of families and, you're saving the day. Okay. Hard decisions are going to have to be made about your level of kindness. All right. But right now, today, baby, kindness works. When somebody's used to, this used to work. I mentioned this on another video. If I had, let's say, a larger cart of food and somebody was like, wow, that's a lot of food. And I'd be like, yeah, it cost a lot to feed my 10 kids, right? I just would say something like that. And then all of a sudden, demeanor's like, oh, wow. Kill them with kindness. Next thing I have is positivity is a form of fuel, okay? Being positive helps you. It is a fuel that is needed for your body to be successful, okay? To be open, all right? Negative people are just disgusting to me, okay? There's no reason to be a negative person because you gain nothing from that, but you actually gain from positivity, being positive, right? A lot of people will be like, you're so positive, but I'm also a realist, okay? There is some different definitions of, levels of positivity, right? And what makes sense, but positivity is a fuel, okay? It doesn't hurt you to take a situation and think, okay, there is a positive in this bad time, this bad challenging time, there is a positive, okay? And so knowing and figuring out how to decipher what is the positive, you can decipher what's the negative too, just so that you can figure out how to get that energy out of there and move forward with the positive, energy and plan. You're going to be so much more successful in things that you have to execute and do if you have a positive attitude of like, we can do this, okay? Negativity will kill you, okay? Will kill you, right? Another thing is self-love is very overlooked. So again, a lot of people, they just don't take the time to help themselves, love on themselves. It's just like overweight people. I'm overweight. You have to love yourself enough to care about your own health of your own body. Working out. I could care less, right? I did 20 years in the Navy. I hated PT. I hated the fact the Navy was telling me when to PT, what to do. You're overweight, you're fat. My whole career, you guys, okay? In reality, very healthy, okay? So what I want to tell you is that you should do for yourself, for your own self-love, right? I go out and work out, right? That stuff feels good when you have the power to say when you're going to do stuff and to love yourself, okay? And so I think self-love is overlooked, right? You have to think about yourself, how you want to do things, what things make you feel good, and then do those things, okay? To be honest, yes, there's life coaches and there's motivators that can help you do stuff, but you have to pull from within to actually, in my opinion, execute it, and to execute it in like a good energy and not a negative energy of somebody telling you this is how you should do it, because that's not always the way it should happen. Okay. Just trying to put that in an example. Next thing I have is adjust physically to your anxiety. So I mentioned earlier, I have chronic anxiety. Chronic anxiety, you guys, is where your anxiety is so heavy that I will literally get up and go to the bathroom 3 times, like immediately in the morning, like back to back to back. Or I will start to dry heave, or I will actually throw up, okay? And it happens for all types of reasons, you guys. Stuff that is just so little and you're like, why is my body even letting this happen on, this is nothing, right? To major things, right? And I have learned how to deal with that. I've learned how to understand what it looks like through my body to where I know, okay, this is happening or it's about to happen, or how to calm myself down, whether that's breathing techniques, whether that's pulling back and just saying, okay, we're just going to step back from whatever it is we were doing. Okay. I know now that if I start the day and I do a video with you guys and I'm feeling some type of way, once that's done, I step away. You might not see me comment on the video right away. I might not do anything for my business that day. Okay. And I just concentrate on the family. I concentrate on preserving food, the things that are calming. I might totally shut down and be like, you know what? I'm just going to binge The Walking Dead. Like I'm just going to binge a show or something, right? You totally step back, okay? Maybe it's I get up and I go outside and I go for a walk. I just need some fresh air where I'm not thinking about anything, right? Putting this down and figuring out what it is that you want to, your body needs you to do to calm down, okay? Maybe that's a hot bath where I just totally go away from everybody, light some candles and take a bath, okay? Sometimes it's I have to leave the house. I need to get out of the house with family, right? I need my own time. Maybe I need some self-love, right? So those are the things that you need to figure out for yourself, for your own stuff. What's the plan and what you can do. So for me, I kind of know the things that I need to do to kind of get back on an evil keel. And then I go to sleep, I get rest, and I wake up a different person the next day, okay? Next thing I have is gravitate towards what calms you. So again, if you know something is calming, you're going to make sure that you prep that and have that stuff now, right? When you hit those heavy things that you know mentally are going to be challenging, what is it that's going to calm your soul? Okay. Is it going to be comfort food? Is it going to be knowing the fact that you know you are prepared? Is it going to be knowing the fact that you are fortified in your home with defensive tools and knowing that you could fend off people if you needed to be? Okay. Is it God? Is it prayer and talking to God? Is that going to be your calming force? Is it all of those things? Like, figure out what's calming to you and utilize that for your mental health, right? What is going to make you feel better and slow down and calm down to be able to assess the situation, to assess what's going on, and then move forward as a family of what's going to happen. All right. Don't get upset over things that you can't control. This was a huge thing that I used to tell, junior troops all the time is when I was in the services, they would come to me and complain and I would listen. And then at the end, when it was my time to speak, I would honestly just most of the time say, why are you spending so much energy on the stuff you can't control? You literally can't control that. And you're spinning your wheels, getting so upset about it and overthinking about it and just so upset and negative energy that is just dragging you down when in fact, just stop because you can't control it. You'd rather stay in the negative energy than move past it and know, okay, well, man, I can't get out of this. I can't control this. Is there a positive in it? That's the other thing is figuring out in the situation, what is the positive and then moving forward with it. I mean, that is helpful. And then the last thing I have is the connections you make today will feed you. So the closer you are with your kids will matter. The closer you are with your significant other will matter. Me and mine's, we're so tight, like we're already ready to go. And so later, when crazy things that are happening, even things that maybe we've discussed, but again, until it's in your face and you're dealing with it, we really don't know how we're going to react. The only thing you can do is plan and mentally know and set yourself up mentally to be able to be as prepared as possible to handle whatever situation. And the closer you are with your family, the more time you spend with your family, the more you talk to your family about what's going on, the tighter you will be. I'm telling you right now, me and hubby are tight, and we have a game plan for defensive tactics. But I'm telling you right now, both being in the military, the day that we have to employ any kind of tactics and we are doing stuff together, clearing areas, clearing the path for anybody that is in our way, I just can't even explain how more bonded you will be doing that. Okay, that's why people in the military are so bonded, is because they go through hardships together. All right, and so that stuff matters. So the connections you make now, they matter. Connections you make with like-minded people now matter. Okay, imagine if you have comms and you have like-minded people a little ways away, and maybe the plan is not to come together, but you have comms and you're still able to talk to each other, okay? And you can still get information to each other, help each other, motivate each other. Mentally, that's going to be important, okay? So if you set those things up now, it won't be so hard, okay? I mean, the point is that, first of all, nobody wants any of this stuff to happen. But when it happens, you want to be as prepared as possible, because the level of your mental game is going to be a killer for some people. They're not going to be able to handle it. And even people who would consider themselves pretty mentally tough, right? Maybe have gone through some stuff. But if you haven't discussed this stuff and actually thought about where stuff could go, what could happen, what unpredictable stuff could happen, and at least have discussions talking through how you would handle that now, you know, it's just one more thing you're going to have to, your brain is going to be stressing about, and your mental health is going to be like, can I even handle this? Like, this is a lot. Okay. But if it's in there rumbling around, you've discussed it, you kind of knew some of this stuff was going to happen. We've discussed already, even if it's partial plans of what we would do, that is important. So I'm not sure if you guys will enjoy this video or not. It is kind of a long video, but I think that mental preparedness, I think spiritual preparedness, physical preparedness, all of that stuff is just as important as getting all the things, right? It's not just about, hey, we're going to go to the grocery store and get a haul today, right? It's not about just how many things of toothpaste do I have. Mental is super high of importance. Yeah, you need all the things, but mentally, if you don't have that on lock, the things won't matter, because you won't make it, okay? They'll just be left for somebody else to come around and get one day. Okay, so I would love to hear in the comments below any of your guys' thoughts. What do you think about this topic? Things that you do to help you with your ailments, right? Things you're doing to prepare for the area of mental, either mental illnesses, just your mental game in general. I'm super curious. I'm going to read every single comment, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Take care. Bye.